Beyond Reach is my favorite DLC-sized mod for Skyrim. And I've reviewed it a couple of times, and on both those occasions, I've received comments telling me that I am overly positively biased towards Beyond Reach. And I have to admit that that is accurate. And I would like to tell you why I am biased, positively biased towards Beyond Reach, if you would bear with me. And I thank you in advance if you do. So, I started playing Beyond Reach at a quite, let's say, difficult time in my life. I was at the tail end of a 3-year depression period. And that tail end part of it was also very much stress ridden. Now, I had just finished my master's thesis, and I was waiting for the oral defense to take place. And I was generally, at a time in my life where it was that kind of crossroads type of moment in your life where you have to make all those decisions, not just about what you want to do, but on a just more general scale, who you want to be, and that is tough. I knew I wanted to do a PhD, that I was totally certain on, but there was a lot of thought, should I go abroad, what university should it be, what exactly should be the subject, and what do I want to do in my life, how do I need to present myself to achieve that, what parts of me do I have to sacrifice to achieve that, all those things. And am I sacrificing too much? Am I sacrificing too little? Now, all those things are very natural things to be stressed about, right? There's nothing pathological about being stressed and depressed about all these things. But what was most apparently pathological about my state of mind during those 3 years, and especially toward that period, was my inability, my complete inability to perceive meaning in anything. Essentially, I felt like an empty, hollow husk roaming a grey, empty, meaningless world. And that was devastating. I felt like I had lived for 10,000 years and had arrived at the heart of being, and there was nothing there. I can't describe that feeling better. And that was very much pathological. So the time for the oral defense of my master's thesis finally comes, and a few days before that, while I was showering, I detected a small lump on my left testicle. It had been kind of bothering me for days, but I kind of brushed it off, But at that moment, I self-examined, and I was still kind of tried to actively be in denial, but essentially deep down I knew this was testicular cancer. I was in the right age group. The symptoms led to that diagnosis, let's say. So I said, okay, we'll deal with this. Let's do the oral defense first, and we'll deal with this. And I remember myself climbing up the stairs to get to the room at the university where the oral defense was about to take place, and I felt my cancerous testicle push up against my thigh, and I said to myself, yeah, that's gonna go. There's no way I'm getting to keep that testicle. Um, so, uh, yeah, after the oral defense of my master's thesis, I went to the doctor and he sent me to a urologist, and the urologist said, well, yeah, it's testicular cancer. So at that moment, that was a wake up call for me, because I knew that I hadn't been living my life correctly, and that could not go on. So the first thing that happened, I just instantly stopped being stressed. But still, the heaviness, the gravity, the crushing gravity of being itself was present in every moment. And the only solace I had from that was because, after the diagnosis, I was for a week every day at the hospital for something, or doing some bureaucratic stuff that was related to the hospital. So all these things, like a 10-day period of getting ready for surgery, essentially. And my only solace in all this craziness and, as I said before, crushing gravity, was coming home and playing Beyond Reach. And something I noticed, those moments of surcease from sorrow, let's say, from heaviness, more accurately put, was that within the beauty of this creation of Beyond Reach, this amazing creation of Razor Kid, I could see that there is meaning in the world. I couldn't feel it yet. I couldn't perceive it with my soul, let's say, but my mind told me it's there. It's undeniably there. So, being able to behold the existence of meaning through the beauty that I found in Beyond Reach, through the joy and depth and beauty I encountered playing it, it was like a promise that said, since, let's say, a logical promise, which went kind of, since you now know that there is meaning, there is a chance for you to regain the ability to feel meaning, and essentially to lead a meaningful life. And that was soteriological almost for me at that point. So the surgery takes place. It turns out, fortunately, in my unluck, I was quite lucky, let's say. It was the simplest form of testicular cancer, and at a very, very early stage. All that was needed was the surgery. I didn't need any chemo or radiation or anything like that, just, regular checkups. And yeah, I had gone through a small death and pending rebirth, let's say. And essentially, because all this with testicular cancer, etc., was a huge wake-up call, after that, I actually managed to turn my life around. I took a 1-year break to recover both physically and, most importantly, mentally. And at the end of that, I was actually able to start building the life that I'm living now, which is very meaningful and very much stressless. And I do my art, and I started my PhD here at my local university, which ended up being much better than going anywhere abroad to do it. And I am very much again able to perceive, not just perceive meaning, but live within meaning every single day of my life. And although the wake-up call, the wake-up call of testicular cancer was very important for me to make that immediate decision to understand that there's something wrong and something needs to stop and change, I still think equally important was the fact that Beyond Reach gave me quasi a promise of finding meaning again. So it was not just the wake-up call that told me you're living a meaningless life and you need to change that. You need to live differently than you do. It was also the promise of meaning that I found in Beyond Reach. And that meaning was just its beauty, pretty much. Its beauty of world design, of narrative, of music, of everything, just the aesthetics of the whole package promised me that there is meaning and that I can find it again. And it's difficult for me to explain how huge that was, how unbelievably huge that was for me. So, Razor Kid, if you're listening to this, you saved me, in a way. Maybe if it wasn't for your mod, I could have taken a similar path through something else. But the way things unfolded, you were a catalyst. Your creation was a catalyst for me to find myself again and find a meaningful life again. So thank you. And thank you all for listening to this. This is... it might not be a very much mod related in the traditional sense, but I want to show you that mods are deep creations of the human soul, and they can have a huge impact on other souls. Let's put it much more simply. I'm not going to edit this heavily. I'm just going to leave it as a sort of ramble, because I really just want to convey the story. And so thanks for listening again, guys. And Razor Kid, you're amazing, and I hope you will create other amazing worlds. And my secret hope is that you and Manny GT will get together and create the Redguard DLC that we never got, because I think you two together can create something absolutely amazingly mind-blowing. So thank you everybody for listening, and as always, I would appreciate your thoughts. Bye.